Running a small business can easily become overwhelming and disorganized. Luckily, that's where the sponsor of today's video comes in. ClickUp is an all-in-one tool to manage tasks, projects, and even your clients. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can set up ClickUp for yourself to keep your small business running smoothly. If you're new here, guys, my name is Dan Pavsik. I have a background in enterprise SaaS deployments. I have rolled out project management tools like this to hundreds of users around the world. And today, I'm going to show you how you can get the same quality of system as a Fortune 500 company for your small business. ClickUp is a great option for small business owners because it is customizable, affordable, and powerful. So let's get into the system. All right, so here we are inside of my ClickUp workspace. If I scroll down here, we're gonna start by taking a look at the different workspaces. I set up a couple of test examples of what a workspace could look like. I've got one for project management and one for CRM. So starting out with the project management space, I started by adding a folder. I can do that by hitting this plus button and then going to folder. You can see there's a lot of options for different sort of pages or spaces to add down here. And from here, I added a folder for an imaginary campaign. From that imaginary campaign, I've got project 1 and project 2, which are both lists, right? They start out as lists, but when you select list, you give it a name. Let's just say project 3, for example. I can set it to private if I want or use a template, but that instantly sets up the project with a to-do list. I also set up a couple of different views for my projects here. It's for the project management space, so they carry down to the different projects that I'm creating. Here we've got a whole bunch of different views are available inside of ClickUp. I won't go through each and every one. They're kind of self-explanatory. If you've ever worked in project management, then you kind of understand what these different views are and how they should look. My personal favorites are the list view, the Gantt chart view, the calendar, and the workload. Workload is huge. If you've never worked with a workload chart before, basically when you are inputting your tasks or you are inputting your work that needs to be done, let's open one up. You can see there is the time estimate. So adding time for about how much time a project is going to take, and then whoever it is assigned to based on an 8-hour work schedule, that will populate that workload view. And it's really awesome to see when you are working with a team. Let's say you're assigning out work to creatives, that workload view will show how many hours of work you've already assigned out, and that way you don't overload your teams. This is a great view that a lot of people don't utilize, I think, as often as they should. So really big that ClickUp includes this in the free version. So here I have one of my to-do lists. Basically adding tasks is extremely easy. You can see adding task 5, task 6, just hitting the task and hitting enter. I can assign a person, a due date, a priority, and a status straight from here. I could also add additional custom fields if I wanted to. I'm not going to go through and do that right now, but custom fields are all amazing because they can be reported on, or you can use them to trigger automations from other integrations later on. So this is a really basic project management space. You can see I have a different list created for each project. Imagine one is an email campaign, another is maybe an out-of-home campaign, and another is like a TV or a commercial spot, right? I could then filter all of my tasks by the assignee, the status, any of my custom fields. I can group them by their status or really whatever, right? I can group by the custom fields as well. There's a lot of options in ClickUp for customizing your views and kind of setting yourself up for success with your task list. If you did want to create a new space, say you have a new team joining and you want to have a space dedicated to them and their work, setting up a space is as easy as hitting that plus button, giving the space a name. We'll call this video, right? For the video team, because they have some work that's totally different from everyone else. From here, you can kind of choose like what kind of template you want. It'll default with some views and some task statuses. You can come in here and add additional statuses or remove any that may not make sense, change the color, so on and so forth. You can add additional apps. So basically these other features from within ClickUp that lets you kind of either automatically do things or set priorities, adding tags for organization purposes, a whole bunch of stuff. The time estimates are in here as well that we just went over, and hitting create space. You can also come down to your space settings and check out some templates for spaces for either folders or lists. There's a whole bunch in here. You can see there's literally hundreds available to you. If I was looking just at spaces and list, see 90-day Instagram success, like different ads scheduling, agency management, whole bunch of other like types of templates for different project management strategies, for different ways of working, different kinds of sprints. There's a whole bunch of options available to you in here. And if I was going to add one of them, I would just click on it, say use template, designate which space I want this to go to, give it a name, and I can choose to import everything or customize all these different features within the space as well, and hit use template. And then that will start loading in down over here. Pretty cool, pretty quick and easy. Very easy to hop in and get set up right away, or at least get set up to a point where you can begin working in this tool, which I think is extremely important when you are introducing a new project management tool to your team, or even just to yourself, right? You want to be able to get in and just get your work in and start using it and build up the muscle memory of using this new SaaS tool. You can also add documents and whiteboards, which I'll go over in a minute, but these help kind of keep project notes or project information consolidated. I added just like a brief template in here from, just cooked one up and threw it in. You can also add a description to your projects up here. So that way, if there is any big distinction between these projects and how they differ from the overall campaign, you can keep track of all of that very easily. Moving on down, I'm going to quickly cover the CRM space. This is just a templated version that I grabbed from ClickUp's template space that you just saw. And here we can see there are two different lists organized by current and past clients. So this is kind of like a lead management or like a client management process. You can look at this either in the list view or the board view. If you're ever like trying to manage your pipeline efficiently. Obviously, this is all dummy data in here for now. You can see additional custom fields are set up for contact information, like what type of plan you're looking at with them, how they're going to pay you, right? These are all custom fields that are set up. What's really cool about this is you can hook up ClickUp to your like lead management tools, to your email list, right? You can do that using tools like make.com very easily, that when someone gets added over there, then a new entry is added into your list here, right? And you can even set different custom fields for them to automatically appear. It is very cool and very easy to use. And I'm a big fan of this. Moving someone over from the current to the past clients is as easy as right-clicking and then moving them over to a different list, as you can see. But let's say that is even too many clicks for you. You want to set up an automation that'll do it for you. When a task or subtask is created, like custom field changes or their status changes, then move to list, right? So this is a quick way to set up an automation so that way when a client's status is updated, it automatically moves them over to the past clients list. And, ClickUp has a whole bunch of automations, and I'm not going to go too deep into like how to build out an automation, but you can see that this is a great no-code solution for in-system automation management. And then if you needed to connect ClickUp to any other tools, make.com is a really great alternative for kind of getting set up with no-code automation or low-code automation and connecting ClickUp to any other tool that you might be using. Something else I forgot to cover when I was showing the task is the time tracking. So you can have people add time to any task that they are assigned. I did 30 instead of 30, right? Setting a date so that you can know when you are tracking time for. If you want to backtrack your time, you can add a tag if you want to, like, let people know what this time tracking specifically is for. Worked on creative round 1, save. Now my time is tracked to this task and it has a total. You can come back and add more time if you want. And you can see it updated to 3 hours. This is really awesome. I mean, time tracking is great. It's great to get a sense of how much time you are actually spending on a task versus how much you think this task should take. And that way you can help kind of close the gap in either the skill set of the person assigned or your understanding of how long it actually realistically takes to achieve completing this task. That was a very wordy way to say that, but that's what you got from me. Alrighty, moving on, I'm going to kind of go through all of the features on this left-hand sidebar. You can see that they are also accessible up here in the top if you want to open or add some kind of entries to them. So off the bat, we've got the inbox, which is pretty self-explanatory. If you get mentioned or comments, then they will populate in your inbox here. We have a chat function, which is really amazing. This looks like a diet version of Slack, but what's amazing about it is that you can have all these channels specific to your projects. You can add docs, track tasks, all within this chat function inside of ClickUp. And this is huge because people usually don't do this, right? People, if you ever worked anywhere and you've had Slack or Teams chat or Google chat or whatever, you're always leaving your project management tool to go have conversations about the projects you're working on. Whereas you can now keep all of that here in your project management tool. And it also saves you the cost of having an additional chat tool. So I really think this is awesome. You can add other chat pages. You can make this like company wide instead of just needing to be project management specific. It's really cool. Going on from chats, we have docs. You saw the one I created with the project notes, but this is great because you can just input all of your, like literally all of your documentation in here. I mean, how much time do you spend searching through like Google Drive or looking for the right document when it could all just be tied to your project management system, like any process docs, any forecasting docs, anything around resource needs, like you name it, contracts for specific aspects of a project could all be living in here and tied back to the space inside of the specific campaign. So this is a really awesome feature. Again, I'm going to keep saying it, but like any tool that helps people stay inside of the tool at your company is amazing. You're wasting so much less time for people to search and find and consolidate shit and bring it back into your project management tool. And that is huge. Of course, they have a dashboards feature. Adding a dashboard is really straightforward. You kind of just press new, and then from here, you can add different cards. Now, some of them you will need to upgrade to get, makes sense, but there's a lot of really helpful ones that are kind of just available to you out of the box, with all of these different categories and views available to you, right? You can even report on your time tracking or get a quick look at time tracking for other people. So dashboards, super awesome, extremely helpful, great for visualization, great for sharing out with teams or your leadership, or even just for you, right? If you are a small business owner then this is a great way for you to get data on your business and get it to be like visual data rather than just numbers on a spreadsheet. So dashboards are extremely helpful and kind of essential for any project management tool at this point. Going down the list to whiteboards. Now, if you've never used this, you might be wondering, like, why do you need this? Why do I need this for myself as a small business? Well, whiteboards are great for brainstorming, mind mapping, creating process docs or SOPs, flows. If you wanted to get people together for a brainstorming session, right? That's if you have a team. If it's just you, then you can create like SOPs and kind of like, this is how we do things here from start to finish. You can share that out with freelancers or anyone new who may be joining your team. So whiteboard is huge, right? People pay, like large companies pay a lot of money to like Miro and Lucid Spark to get like just one tool dedicated to doing this, right? And this is a native whiteboard feature that is integrated into your project management system. And you can use it to track tasks or steps. There's a whole bunch of different blocks and templates, and you can put images in here if you wanted to create like an interesting looking mood board, right? There's a lot of possibility and flexibility here. So I'm a big fan of whiteboards and just kind of getting started and playing around with them. They're fun. I like them. Something else that is massive is clips, right? Screen recording, what I'm doing right now. Again, this is huge because if you have someone new joining your team, you want to just record a clip and share it with them of like basically what I'm doing right now. Like, this is our project management system. This is how we have it set up. This is how you do this. This is how you do that. You can record all of that directly into your project management system and share that out with people. It's really great if you are on an IT team or you run an IT service and you're showing people how to fix a particular bug, or if you run a consulting agency and this is like part of your delivery, right? You want to hand over some clips and some screen recordings, then this is a great tool to do that with, and you can keep it all here and you can add it to projects and you can tie it all back to everything that you're working on. So love this feature. This is massive. Again, it's something that people pay for entirely separate tools and leave their project management system for, just to get themselves like this functionality. So I am a big fan of having this available for free for anyone like who needs to record clips or share information. Like, this is a great feature to have. Moving on, we have a goals, right? If you wanted to like set goals or targets that are not necessarily like projects in and of themselves, right? Think OKRs or KPIs, objectives, key results, key performance indicators. If you haven't heard that terminology before, these are kind of like the big metrics or goals that are set by company leadership at the beginning of a quarter or end of a fiscal year for the upcoming year. And that is kind of sent out and delegated to people. You can set like markers for your goals and assign them out to people. This is a really cool feature to have because usually this is just tracked in like some spreadsheet document, right? It's usually not built into whatever project management tool you are currently using. Going on down to timesheets. Timesheets is just like a great way for people to track time. It's very easy. You just find the task that you want to track time for, go to the day for it, and input your time, right? 5 hours is a lot, but that's how long it took. And so it helps like people like avoid needing to track in the moment, which can be very hard or distracting from the work they are doing. And it lets them kind of take a moment at the end of the day or at the end of a week to track their time. You can also check out all of your individual time entries here and edit them if you need to. Move myself out of the way. Yeah, you can delete, remove, or edit a time entry if you like entered it and you were like, oh shit, I didn't mean to put 5 hours down for that. That's gonna make me look like I'm spending way too much time on a simple task. Don't worry, you can come in and you can fix that. Right, so really cool, really straightforward. If you're working with freelancers or if you yourself are a consultant, this is also an easy way to determine like how much billable time you like have worked on for a client or how much time you are being billed for if you have freelancers. So all good stuff here. Really great information for a small business owner to have if you've never had anything like this before. And that really covers like all of the features and kind of getting set up, right? Adding a space, creating a list, and just getting yourself to a working point is the most important thing. And then customizing it, building on it as you go, integrating other tools, using make.com, integrating your Google Calendar, getting clients into your system. All of that happens over time, right? And this is a great way to get set up with a great foundation for a free project management and CRM tool for you as a small business owner or even a large business owner. If you're seeing this and you decide like, hey, like we should roll this out at our company, then great, right? Because this is very scalable to a high-level enterprise like SaaS tool. So if you're watching this, definitely consider that as well. Throughout the process of learning how to use ClickUp, I have to say, I was really surprised by just how many features and capabilities it has that allow team members to be as productive as possible without needing to go to any other app. And what I mean by that is things like the Whiteboard, the docs, or the chat function that are natively built into the free version are usually separate tools that companies will pay separate businesses for. And what that means is, to have communication, you have to go to another app. To find your document for a project, you have to go to another app. To share out processes or your like mind maps that you do, you usually have to go to another app or import them from another app into your project management tool. So it's really cool that ClickUp has all of these functions built natively into the product. It has transformed how I plan to run my business and also recommendations that I'm going to be making to clients in the future when they're looking for a SaaS tool to help them be more productive in running their small business. But I mean, moral of the story is that I encourage you to try ClickUp, even if you don't have a small business and you just want to get your hands on a fun, free piece of software. Maybe you're interested in learning about project management. This is a great tool to get into and get some experience with to take with you to a job. And you can do it for free. I know I've said that, but it's fucking free. I mean, come on. I've dropped a link in the description below. If you decide that you love ClickUp, my code will get you a 20% off your plan if you decide to upgrade. All right, and that's the video. Thank you for watching, guys. If there's anything I forgot to cover that you wish I did, let me know in the comments below. While you're down there, be sure to hit that like, subscribe, click on that affiliate link. It's the best way to help out the channel. Let me know that what I'm doing is working, that you've liking the content so far. And yeah. If you made it this far, thank you. I appreciate you, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.